Hi, and welcome back to South on the Repair. You may have seen our short videos, this fish tank. And this has an interesting story. It belonged to an elderly lady who lost her husband, and their friend asked me to repair this tank because the pump was stopped. It was no light, no bubbles, and the fishes didn't work. And they wanted to repair this one exactly, so they didn't want to buy a new one as he got this one from his late husband. So that's the story of a fish tank repair. I never thought I'm gonna say this. Let's begin. So first of all, I ordered a new pump, which looks like exactly the same as the old one. I already started to take apart the old one. Usually the problem is this pump part, this rubber is just get a leak, and you can use the new pump as a donor. Now, as I started working on this one, I realized the new pump looks a tiny bit bigger, but really this was the only one which at least somehow matched with the original part. So anyway, I take apart the new one and maybe use as a parts to make the old pump working again. As I opened, the first obvious difference is this one have two bell and not one, and yeah, it's completely different. So I decided to put it back together and maybe we can hook it up. As you can see on the new part, it have a tiny electronic, which probably necessary if you want to use the two bell system compared with the one bell. I have really no idea. I never repaired the pump before or never touched a fish tank, unless I just watch the fish swimming around. Alright, time to, since we cut off the old pump, time to put in the new one and see how is it work. At this point I was very hopeful and I wanted to make a connection which will last, and in case a few drop of water spill is not gonna make a big problem. So I used hardwire soldering with heat shrink around it. I used a third handler as I ran out from hands. And after a few try, I made a nice solid connection. The heat shrink should give some protection against some spoiled water. The connection is very straightforward. The 12 volt is coming in and it's one part is going to the pump, the other part is going to the LED. The little knob what you can use is just releasing more or less air into the system, but is not controlling the power. That one is fixed powered. I hook up the bench power supply. Try to give the right voltage. And nothing happened. I was a little bit disappointed, but little I know, it was a long way to finish this easy job. First, I checked the power supply, and yes, it still was working. It was giving 12 voltage. So to reduce the problems, I removed the pump, the new pump, and checked if everything was alright with the connections and on the board. As I saw some capacitors and resistors, I spent some time to check all of them, but all of them became very good. If not even first time, second time they worked. So I hooked up just the LED board with the power, and they started working. So it was time to use a non-permanent connection, which easily removable. I checked again what's happening if it's coming together with the pump. The first clue was the pump didn't go through and the voltage was very, very low. Basically, the big power supply couldn't handle it, so I had to increase the voltage and ampere for an insane amount, and that one made that work the LED board again, but not the pump. So I pressed the old pump inside and checked what's happening. The LED board was working, but as you can see, the pump, I don't even understand how is it worked before. I'm a little bit confused. I tried to make some research about this IC and what the people wrote about on the internet. But the only thing what I have found, it was an LED driver, and people try to adjust to get different colors and different lights. But still doesn't make any sense how this one is controlled the pump itself. So I took out the new pump again, and yeah, this is definitely have two magnets there, which makes sense basically. The other one is just have one, but even that wasn't controlled. I think it's time to take a look on the new control board which came with the pump. I can see little note on that one. It's how many hertz is working the pump. 30 Hz, 50 Hz, 60 Hz. Probably it's configurable. We have a nice big capacitor there, which could be shorted. Maybe it's time to check it. After a quick check, it turned out it's dead as a doorbell. So I was looking for a similar capacitor on stock. Cleaned out the hole, put it in, should be alright. It's time to hook up the power, and nothing happening. Take a closer look, maybe I can see some obvious damage. But no. When I checked under a thermal camera, I can see a little light, like end of the tunnel. One part of the board is really lighting up. That one is, I don't know what. I tried to look up the assembly catalog, I couldn't find anything, but as I can see the circuit board, it looks like some controller IC. It's basically just like a primitive MOSFET? A transistor maybe? I don't know. At this point I got really tired, so I tried a little bypass operation and just controlling directly from the power. If it's work, we are happy. If it's not, then I have no idea. I just get another aquarium and make it as a donor. We'll see. The problem is this pump came from China and this took me almost a week to get it. And the old lady is really waiting for this pump to make it fix. His husband's funeral will be on this week, so I try to make a quick work. Let's test. Oh yeah! It's just working. I am really happy. I'm checking with my finger and it's pumping air. Not much, but it should be enough. It's a very small aquarium. Alright, time to quick up the process. Put it together and let's see if it's working with the LED lights together. Hopefully this project is not holding me any more surprise. As the original board was covered completely with heat shrink, I tried to do the same things from obvious reason. After I connected the pump and the LED board together, the only things needed is a little power. I started whistling as I really was hopeful, and it's worked. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like, subscribe, and maybe you can see another interesting case. Thank you. Bye.